I.S.U.P.K. 53rd Annual Lord's Passover.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. This is the I.S.U.P.K. down in Florida. I'm Captain of 10,000 Shamor Yalo. We here to let you know 53rd Annual Lord's Passover is going to be held down here in Florida. It's going down in South Florida, Cocoa Beach.
Friday, April 15th, 2022.
The lamb, the wine, the brotherhood, the sisterhood, you understand? Good music, good weather, palm trees, the whole nine.
This is going to be glorious. Book your hotels now at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, 301 Tucker Lane, Cocoa Beach, Florida, 32926.
April 15th and the 16th. Don't just book for the 15th. Book for the 15th and the 16th.
It's going down Friday, April 15th at the Space Coast Convention Center.
Moses told Pharaoh we need 3 days to be able to go out into the wilderness and serve our power the way he commands. You're going to have to get that off with your boss, with your slave master. So make sure you in the building. Cocoa Beach, Florida, April 15th to 16th, 2022. It's going down. We'll see y'all there. Shalom.
Power, 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000. 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000. Not about the money, it's the principle. Gotta watch who you revere, who you listen to. I speak the Easter, so my flow medicinal. And I buried the old man, now I'm invincible. Gotta be wise in judgment, it's critical. Either couple with this brotherhood or you'll get ridiculed. The greatest man, the greatest servant, I kill for who I minister to. And I'm going war, nigga, win or lose. Hey, I was forged from the fire, torn from the liar. If hand join in hand, you get caught up in the crossfire. Become a casualty of chance. I'm in my stance, still in hand, ready to swing it like a lance. If the enemy advance, I'm enhanced. Had the benefit of the doubt, he never had a chance. Hey, this the shit that they beg for, that burn down the wicked Judge Dredd flow. Bitch, I am the law. Dog faced it, prepared for war.
I'm gon' war till the day I'm done. Number one till the day I'm done. I'ma grind till the day is done. I'ma war till the day I'm done. They can't stop me. Nothing new up under the sun. I'm gon' war till the day I'm done. Number one till the day I'm done. I'ma grind till the day is done. I'ma war till the day I'm done. They can't stop me. Nothing new up under the sun.
I see what they say. Never envy a carnal man. Claim they real, they actions don't match what they saying. I got the upper hand, what you don't understand, youngin'. I'd rather bleed than concede, now they're saying something. These niggas cunning, they want my power, they never take it from me. Hey, for that money, I heard you assisted. They can't go out like that, they'll have to 86 me.
All right, shalom. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. Shalom, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shabbarakatham to all the brothers, Yahweh Shamar Lathan Hashem, Yahweh Shai to all the sisters. We're the I.S.U.P.K. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. And we've been teaching the truth of the Bible since 1969. And the truth is that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you are the Israelites that the Bible speaks about, man. You are the Lord's chosen people, man. And today is Wednesday law class, man. You must be keeping the laws of God, man, because the laws of God was given to you, black men, and nobody else, man. And it's wise for us to keep those laws, statutes, and commandments. That's the reason why we're here under this oppressor, man. Under every heathen nation, man, we are underneath them, man. When we should be set on high above them, man. We should be set on high above them, like the Lord told us we should. But we have to do what the Lord told us. We'll get those blessings if we do what the Lord told us. But since we don't do what the Lord told us, we get those curses, like in Deuteronomy 28. We can get the blessings in Deuteronomy 28, or we can get the curses in Deuteronomy 28. But it's all up to us about what we do as a nation, what we do as a people, right? Because the Lord's going to keep His word. If we don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments, we're going to go in. We're going to be second class, subservient to every nation under heaven. But if we do keep the law, statutes, and commandments, then we'll be set on high above all nations on the earth, man. And it'll be wise for us to do that. It'll be wise for us to seek out our power, seek out our culture, seek out our history, and find out what we should be doing as a nation, man. But instead, we want to follow every other nation under heaven, man. We want to do whatever every other nation says. You know what I mean? Brothers and sisters will not keep the Passover, the Sabbath day, but you know what they will keep? They will keep Christmas. They will keep Easter. They will keep Thanksgiving. They will keep this worship on Sunday and all this extra. And it's not, and they and people know of the Bible and know about worshiping other gods. They just don't want to. We just don't want to as a nation. We just don't want to. That's why every time that's why when you talk to a Christian, they omit the weightier matters of the law, man. They don't care about the law that's going on in the Bible, man. They don't care about that. All right. That and they have a zeal for the Most High. They have a zeal for the Lord. That's why every time they win an award, first thing I want to thank God. That's the first thing they do when they get up there. You hear about watch these podcasts and people on TV. All they talk about, because God and God this and God that and God that. And they have a zeal for the Most High, but it's just not according to knowledge. It's not according to the understanding of the God of the Bible, of their God. It's the understanding of all the other gods that they worship. All right. Now let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. We're going to start out with Romans chapter 10, verse 2. The book of Romans chapter 10, verse 2. Give me 1 second. All right. So this is the book of Romans chapter 10, verse 2. I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, brethren, right? Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to God for Israel is, right? So this is our brother Paul talking, right? And he's talking to his brethren, which we know as his brethren to be the 12 tribes of Israel, not everybody. And this is in the New Testament, right? This is in the New Testament, right? And he said, my heart's desire and prayer to God of Israel. It's not God of everybody. It's God of Israel, right? God of Israel is that they might be saved, right? That we might be saved, man. That's just the iceberg of the cake, right? Everything in the Bible pertains to the Israelites, man. Verse 2. So like verse 2, it says, for I bear them record that they have a zeal of God, right? So the subject matter is talking about his brethren, right? And he's praying to the Most High that we're going to be saved. He said, for I bear them record that they have a zeal of the Most High. Because Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we do have a zeal of the Most High, man. We do have the zeal of the Most High. if you think about it, that God loves everybody, right? That God loves everybody. BS talk. Everybody says like the so-called white man can say God loves everybody, right? But he doesn't live like that. He say God loves everybody, but at the same time he'll shoot you down in the middle of the street with your mama watching. Then when your mama won't answer, he'll spray pepper spray, right? Right. At the same time as he'll put his knee on your neck, and then when you stop moving, he'll keep his knee on your neck for the next 30 minutes. For the next 3 minutes. He'll put his knee on your neck. Right? So we do have a zeal for the Most High. First thing, something happens in our life, we go, oh Lord. Right? That's the first thing we do. Lord, help me. Lord, as soon as you get sick, you pray to the Most High. Pray to the Lord. You know what I'm talking about? As soon as you lose your job, I ain't worried about it because God got me. That's what we do. That is what we do. So we have a zeal for the Most High. That is what we do. Everybody always talk, keep God first in your life. I see all the scroll down your timeline on your Facebook. Type amen if you keep God first in your life and all this and all that extra. You know, we see it all the time. So it says, for I bear them record that they have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge. Right? It says not according to knowledge, man. What is that knowledge that we don't have with the Most High, man? Because we don't know that the Most High is our God and our God only. We don't know that the Most High God only loves Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's the knowledge that we're missing. We're missing the knowledge of the law, statutes, and commandments that He gave us, man, to make us a separate nation, away from everybody else, man. So, like, to make us a separate nation from everybody else, man. Just take the so-called Jew, right? The so-called Jew took our records and try to take our understanding and our book, right, and make and use it for his nation, for his people, right? And look what they do. Look what they do in the world, man. They own the banking system. They own they own the Diamond District. They own entertainment world. They own the music. They own movies. They own almost everything. They live separately inside of America. They live separately, right? They got their own policing systems. They got their own schools. They got their own hospitals. They have everything on their own by using our records, by using our tool that the Most High gave us. Because the Most High gave these laws, statutes, and commandments, this understanding to us. This wisdom and knowledge to the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Nobody else on the planet. Nobody else on the planet. And look what they have gained and have done. They got their own. They went in there. They went into our land, moved people out of our land, and took over that land. And now they using segregation in that land. Right now, as we speak, by pretending to be us, and we don't even want to be that. We don't even want to be the greatest thing that the Most High ever made. And we damn sure don't want to follow His rules, His understanding. Right? So it says, for I bear them record that they have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge. Right? Not according to knowledge. Hold that. Ooh. Now we're going to move with me to Hosea 4 and 6. The book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. It says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Right? Because my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, man. That's what the Bible's saying. The Bible's saying that the Lord's people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, man. Because we don't know who we are. We don't know what foods to eat. We don't know who to marry. You know what I mean? We don't know. We don't know these things that should be natural to us. You feel me? That's why when we go celebrate all these other all these pagan days, right? All these pagan so-called holidays, these hell days, right? We think it's a-okay to celebrate these days, even though we know it's pagan. We know it's not of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, our King and the Most High. We know that. But then we still go do it anyway. And then we give crazy reasons like I do it for the kids. That's what we do. We give crazy reasons like I do it for the kids. Right? So you gonna lie to your kids, but then tell your kids not to lie to you. Ain't that something? You're gonna tell your kids, don't lie. You bet not lie to me, but then you lie to them every day of the week. We teach our kids how to lie. We teach our kids how to lie, and then we tell them don't lie to us. Right? We tell them that a white man comes down our chimney, right, and drop off gifts for Christmas when we live in the projects with no chimney. We don't have no chimney, right? We tell our kids that Easter, Easter bunnies lay eggs. There's no bunny rabbits that lay eggs. You're never gonna see it. But that's what we tell our kids, right? We tell our kids that 4th of July celebrates Independence Day, and we pop fireworks and parlay and barbecue and all this. During 4th of July, we were slaves. Our whole life, we've been lied to. And bamboozled. We go to church, right? We go to church and we look at Caesar Borgia on the wall, right? And they say that white boy is Jesus. And then you find out that Yahweh Shai is a black man from the tribe of Judah. And then you try to say something, they be like, I know Jesus is black. Then who is that? Then who is that on the wall that everybody be praying to? Who is that on the wall that everybody be praying to? It's just full of lies. They say Christmas is the birth of celebrates the birth of Jesus. I said, no sweat, prove it to me. Well, I don't know. I can't prove it to you because it's not in the Bible. Then why are you doing it? Because the oppressor says do it. Because the oppressor says do it. That's why. That's why we say do it. So we have that lack of knowledge of what we should do, but we do have that understanding of what our slave master tells us. That's what we do. What our oppressors tells us, that's what we do. We don't and now we don't have to do it. We just do it voluntarily. We do it voluntarily now. Right, we do it voluntarily now. It says, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. See, we rejected the knowledge of the Most High, and we'd rather go with all the knowledge of all the other nations. Right, it says, I will also reject thee. So just like we rejected the Lord's knowledge, the Lord's law, statutes, and commandments, the Lord is going to reject us, what we see every day. We see every day that the Lord is rejecting us, man. Because he steady lets these oppressors murder us down in the streets. He steady lets other nations come into our what would you call it? Come into our neighborhoods, right? And set up businesses and eat off of us, right? Also, right. What I was reading an article yesterday about them letting the Ukrainians come through the border of Mexico, right, into America. Meanwhile, when the so-called Mexicans, man, the children of Issachar, was trying to come over here to escape a cartel war over there in Mexico, they stopped them at the border and separated the mother and the father from the kids and put the kids in concentration camps and made them sleep with foil blankets. But now they letting Ukrainians come over here across the border. right? The Lord, that's how the Lord, that's another way the Lord rejects us, right? Over there in when at the same time as the Afghanistanians were getting private jets flew over here into America with Airbnbs and food stamps and all these resources that they was giving out, right? The children of Levi, the Haitians, were trying to escape a hurricane that had went through their land, right? That they live in, right? And they were trying to come through the border of Mexico. And they stopped them at the border of Mexico and made them stay up under a bridge in tents, right? Nowadays, now they letting the Ukrainians just come right through the Mexican border. Ain't that some Slovakia? I gotta. Ugh. But ain't that something right there? Ain't that something? They let all these other nations come right through and right into America, right? But then they stopped my people from coming here, and my people ain't never did nothing to them. That's how the Lord rejected thee, right? It says, "And thou shalt be no priest to me," right? Because he's not treating us like priests. He's letting these nations have full reign over us, do whatever they want to do to us, man. Right? It says, "Seeing thou hast forgotten thy law." Seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, right? Because we forgot the laws of our God, man. We forgot the laws of our power. What our power told us to do, we forgot that thing there. We don't, and it's not that we forgot, we just don't give a damn. We just don't care. We just don't care. Right? It says, "I will also forget thy children," right? He's going to forget our children. He's going to forget our children. That's why our children grow up to be gang members, Instagram whores, and TikTok fixins. And you feel me? That's why our children are oppressors over us, and they run amok all throughout the streets. They do what they want to do. They grow up and do what they want to do. That's why. Because the Lord is making that happen. The Lord is letting that happen. All right, now let's get back to it. Oh man. Boy. All right. Right. The book of Romans, chapter 10, verse 2. Right. It says, "For I bear them record that they have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge." Right. Not according to knowledge. "For they being ignorant of God's righteousness," right? Because we're ignorant to God's righteousness. We don't care about the righteousness of the Most High. We don't care about what's right to the Most High. We do whatever we feel like we want to do as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's why we're all swept up in Christianity and in Islam and in Catholicism and Buddhism and Seventh-day Adventist and whatever we feel like we want to celebrate, we want to do, we want to keep. That's what we do. As Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, that's what we do. We're stiff-necked and rebellious. We're stiff-necked and rebellious, man. That's what we do, man. This is for they being ignorant to God's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness, right? Because we think smoking weed and hanging on the block and a woman thinks that showing her behind all over the internet that's okay, that's righteousness. Like ain't nothing gonna happen. It's just regular old business. Then when somebody say something about it, they got the nerve to be mad. But you done showed your behind to everybody on Facebook and everybody on Instagram and everybody on Snapchat and TikTok and whatever else is out there that they use. And brothers think that they can go sell all the drugs and destroy all their people as long as they give them turkeys on Thanksgiving. They good. That they think that's righteous. Oh, I feed them turkeys. You know what I'm talking about? That's what they think is okay. As long as they take Christmas toys to the homeless shelter and give the kids Christmas toys, Christmas gifts or something. They think, yeah, I'm doing the righteous thing. No, it's not righteous because you're leading your people to worship other gods. You're leading your people to worship other things, things that are not written up in the law or in the Bible. You are causing your people to err and causing your people to go off track, man. Causing your people to go off track, and then it's like you poisoning them and then trying to give them something for the poison. No, man, we're going off. We can't do that. That's not of the Lord. That's not righteous. Right? So it says, and going about to establish their own righteousness, because that's what we do. We establish our own righteousness. We think when we smoke weed, we say, oh, God gave it to God put this on the earth. It ain't nothing but a plant. And we smoke it, roll it up and smoke it. We trying to have our own righteousness. Right? When the Lord told us what's right and what's wrong. The Lord gave us that instruction on what's right and what's wrong. And I say right because right is the root word of righteous. So if you want to become righteous, you have to do what's right to the Most High. Right? It says, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of God. Right? Because we don't submit ourselves to the righteousness of God, man. We don't do the works of the Lord for the righteousness of the to get the righteousness of the Most High, man. We don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments, man, to get the righteousness of the Most High. We don't do that. But we do submit ourselves trying to be righteous for the white man, trying to be righteous for the East Indian, trying to be righteous for the Africans. We do all that. We do all that, but we won't be righteous for the Most High. We'll do whatever we can. We'll do whatever we can to not be righteous for the Most High. We do whatever we can not to be so righteous for the Most High. We'll be righteous for everybody else. We do whatever we think what everybody else is doing is right, except what the Most High tells us to do is right. And what we say, man, that law is oppressing us. Right? That's what we say. We can't smoke no weed, man. That law is oppressing us. We can't do this. We can't do that, man. That law is oppressing us. Why don't you think about the things that you can do? Like keep the Passover. Like tell the oppressor he's the damn devil that the Bible speaks of. That's what you don't want to do. You scared. We scared. It's time that we fear the Most High and not fear these other nations. To hell with the other nations. We should fear the Most High, man. And that's real talk, brother. And that's real talk. I'm going to read verse 3 again. For they being ignorant of God's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness. See, because we don't give a damn about what the Most High say is righteous, but we only care about what we say is righteous. We only say what we say is righteous, but what the Most High say, we don't care about. When we should care about what the Most High says and don't give a damn about what we feel. Don't give a damn how we feel. We should give a damn how the Most High feel, because the Most High can do a lot more danger than what we can do to ourselves. That's real talk, brother. The Most High can punish us forever and ever and ever. The Most High can punish us forever and ever and ever. Right? And it says, and have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of the Most High. So we don't submit ourselves unto the righteousness of the Most High. Black man, that's why your woman won't submit herself to you, because you won't submit yourself to the Most High. That's the reason right there. That's the reason why you got so much problems in your household. That's the reason why you got your kids running amok. That's the reason why you're so oppressed at your slavery. It's because you don't want to submit yourselves unto the Most High. And that's real talk, brother. You submit yourselves unto the Most High, the Most High be back on your side and back in your favor. but the Most High is not in our favor right now because we don't want to submit ourselves to Him. We don't want to do what He says. We want to do what every other nation says, though. That's what we want to do, and that is the wrong thing to do. All right, let's go to the book of Titus, chapter 1, verse 10. All right, the book of Titus, chapter 1, verse 10. All right, the book of Titus, chapter 1, verse 10. Right, it says, "For there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers." Right, because there's very many unruly talkers and deceivers. Everybody out there on social medias, everybody out there at the Christian church, everybody's being deceitful, and they're unruly talkers. They're unruly talkers and they're deceivers. But yeah, there's so many unruly talkers and deceivers. They don't have any rules. They don't have any laws that they want to keep. They'll keep the white man's laws. They won't be speeding. No, they don't even keep the white man's laws because Christian pastors do it all. The white man says, don't be smoking weed. That's what they do. They smoke weed. They do drugs. They're pedophiles. So there's a lot of unruly talkers out there, and deceivers, man. There's a lot of them out there. There's like Steve Harvey, right? There's Reverend Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson. There was Martin Luther King. He was out there doing the same thing that all the other pastors do. You know what I mean? He wanted to tie you to the so-called oppressor and integrate, right? Because he wanted to have sex with white women. Unruly talkers. He didn't go by any rules, and he talked his way. He was talking his way into integration, into having us into integrate into us into a system that was murdering us. They're still murdering us till this day. That's how they were able to put what would you call it? That's how they was able to put the Planned Parenthood, the abortion clinics in our neighborhood. Because Martin Luther King made it so. And that's why CPS can now come into your household and take your children away. Because Martin Luther King made it so. And the list goes on and on and on and on, man. Kevin Samuels. The list goes on and on and on. All these brothers and sisters out here being unruly talkers and deceivers, man. They're deceiving us. They're making us feel like because the Lord's not with us because we oppressed and ain't got no money. Meanwhile, they just sold out to get a check. They just sold out to the white man to go to get them a check. Everybody ain't about selling out. Everybody ain't about letting the wolves come eat the sheep. Everybody ain't about that, man. Right? Unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, right? Because they deceive us in the Christian church. They deceive us every Sunday. Every Sunday they go and they tell us that the laws are done away with. Law, statutes, and commandments, they're done away with. But then they keep the law of tithing. Right? But they keep the law of tithing. They deceive us all the time. They tell us God loves everybody, but ain't brought a scripture that says so. You dig? They ain't brought a scripture that said God loves everybody, but they're gonna tell you God loves everybody. See, brother, and that's why, because God is love. God is also a man of war. The Most High is also a man of war. And there's nothing wrong with loving your people. There's nothing wrong with loving your people, man. But there's a time to love, there's a time to hate, there's a time to do everything, man. There's a time for war. And right now we're at war. We having spiritual warfare, man. Right now, man. They say God is love. Why don't they love themselves enough to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments? Why don't they love themselves enough to do that, or love their children enough to teach their children the law, statutes, and commandments? Why won't they do that? Why won't they love their people enough to tell the people the truth? Come on, God is love. For there are many ruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision, right? Especially those of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. Those Israelites that you see, man, that's out there, the TD Jakes and the Get More Dollars, right? And all your Black Christian pastors that be in the hood in all those different mini churches that they got a church every block, but the hood still look dirty and grimy. They got a Black church every block, but the hood still look like the hood, because they're not using that money that they get in them churches to fix the hood. They're using that money they get in them churches to buy themselves nice cars, nice houses, send their children to college. Meanwhile, your children go to a public school to prison pipeline. That's what they call it. That's what they call it. It take the children from elementary school to middle school to high school straight to prison. That's what happens, man. Especially them of the circumcision, man. They're the ones that talk. They're the ones that got the unruly and vain talking and deceiving the most. That's what he said. Especially they of the circumcision, especially you Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We are the ones. That's us. That's us. And it says, whose mouths must be stopped. Verse 11, whose mouths must be stopped. Right? They said their mouths must be stopped. The Most High said those mouths that are being deceitful and unruly talkers, they have to be stopped. They have to be stopped, man. Because they don't do anything but teach hate for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, but love for the other nations. That's all they teach. Hate for the Most High, but love for all the other nations. That's all they teach. They teach you how to hate the Most High. When really loving the Most High is, if they really love the Most High, they will keep the commandments like the Bible says. But they don't really love the Most High. They love that money. They just like they said in the Bible, I have no king but Caesar. That's what they were saying. They were saying they got no God but Caesar Borgia. They got no king but Caesar, man. That's how you know we them people. That's how you know we are them, and they are us. That's how you know. And just like the leaders of back then that served up Yahushua Mashiach, the leaders nowadays will serve up any Israelite to the wolves, man. Any Black, Hispanic, and Native American to the wolves, they'll send you. Because they don't give a damn. They don't care. It's not in their repertoire, and it doesn't benefit them to care about you. But it does benefit the Black. It does benefit them if they really knew the Bible. They really knew the Bible and knew the laws about brotherhood and understanding about brotherhood and sisterhood in the Bible. They would be more careful about what they teach the Lord's chosen people. But they're not careful about what they teach the Lord's chosen people because they don't care. They're gonna care when that destruction comes. They're gonna care when that destruction hit. I tell you that. They'll care then. They'll care when them planes start flying over here and dropping bombs everywhere. Thus saith the Lord. When Christ come back, I bet you they'll believe they'll believe and care about it then. When that king cracks some skies with them angels, I bet you they're gonna believe that they're gonna care about it then. But until that happens, they don't care. Until it affects them, they don't care. They just need the money. Money. That's all they really want. Is the money. And the Bible's finna tell you, man. It's finna tell you. It gets deeper. It says whose mouths must be stopped. All right. It's like it says whose mouths must be stopped. Who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not. Right? It says so they teach things that they shouldn't be teaching. Like what Steve Harvey had that book, Think Like a Man, act like a lady, think like a man. I think that's what it's called. Act like a lady, think like a man. No, black woman. The Bible's told you to act like a lady, think like a lady. You know what I'm talking about? Act like a lady, think like a lady. That's what it should be. She can't think like a man, because a man's thoughts and a woman's thoughts are totally different. Just like the Most High's thoughts and our thoughts are totally different. Just like her thoughts and the children's thoughts are totally different. She can't think like a man. She need to be thinking like a woman and get on the same page as her man. That's what she should be doing. She should be getting on the same page as her man. Whatever her man tells her to do, she should do it. She should follow orders like everybody else. Right? The Christian church teaches that God's laws are done away with. They teach the things that they ought not to. That they ought not teach. They shouldn't teach those things. But they teaching them anyway. God loves everybody. They shouldn't teach those things, but they teach them anyway. Shouldn't be teaching those things, but they teach them anyway. And that's the horrible part, because they selling their people up the river, man, and they don't even care about it. They selling their people up the river, and they don't even care about it, man. All they want is that money. As long as you pay them tithes, man, you can do whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? As long as you pay them tithes and I get my cut, do whatever you want to do. Don't that sound like a politician? That sound like an American politician. As long as they get their cut, man, they'll say anything. They'll do anything. They'll say anything. As long as they get their money, hey. We don't care about the people in District 3. I don't know what district that is. It's just an example. They don't care about the people in District 3, but they get that money from the people in District 3, though. They get them tax. They get that tax break. That tax break. Right, verse 11. It says, "Whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things that they ought not, for filthy lucre's sake." Right, liqueurs. Now let's get this definition of liqueur. I like that word, liqueur. Let's get this definition. The definition of liqueur. It says monetary gain, profit. Wrote almost entirely of liqueur, also money. Right? So liqueur is monetary gain, money. Right? So that's what now let's read this one more time. That's all they want is the dollar bill, y'all. It says, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things they ought not. They ought not. For filthy lucre's sake. So for filthy money's sake. Like I got a precept. Hold up 1 second. The book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 24. It says, no man can serve two masters. Right? Because you can't serve two masters. You can't serve Yahweh, right? You can't serve Yahweh and Yahweh Shah Mashiach. You can't serve the Lord and serve Caesar Borgia in the Christian church. You can't do both. Because they're gonna be at odds with each other the whole time. About everything. Salakia. They're gonna be at odds at each other about everything. Right? The Most High says, don't keep no other gods before me. Why the Christian church have you celebrate different gods every month, every week? You serve a different God. Every Sunday, you go to church on Sunday to worship the sun god. And the Most High said, don't put no other gods before me. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Ain't that something? The Most High say that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the Lord's chosen people. And Christianity says it don't matter who the Lord's chosen people is. God loves everybody. Man, they button heads all day, every day. All day, every day, they button heads, man. All day, every day. They say Jesus, Yahweh Shah Mashiach is a black man from the tribe of Judah over here. Over here, Jesus is a white man with long, stringy hair, and he look effeminate, look very homosexual. He looks like he ain't gonna bust a grape. And the most and Christ Yahweh Shah Mashiach, the black Messiah over here, he look like he gonna bust everything up. He gonna, you know what I'm talking about? That's just how it is. That's just how it is. Over here, he ain't never heard a fly. Over here, when he seen how they was doing the temple, you know what I'm talking about? Yahweh Shah Mashiach went in there flipping over tables and tripping with everybody. Over here, he talks all nice and soft and calm and cool. Over here, Christ was talking to a multitude of thousands. A multitude of thousands. His voice is like raging waters, and he ain't had no microphone. They're going to be at odds all day. So you can't serve two masters. He says, for either he will hate the one, right, and love the other, like most of our people do, because they can't stand the real Bible. That's why they always tell the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, don't read out that. Don't read that. Tell me what you think. We can't tell you what we think. If we tell you what we think, we just gonna be like your Christian pastor. That's why we have to come out the Bible. We have to speak as the oracles of the Most High, man. Because if we don't speak as the oracles of the Most High, it doesn't do anything. You know what I'm talking about? So when we speak from the oracles of the Most High, when we speak from the Bible, that would really cut your soul. It cuts deep. It hurts. It hurts. You know what I mean? But they love that Christian church, man. But they can't stand the real teaching of the Bible. But they love that Christian church because the Christian church don't come out the Bible. It just make it seem like that. It just make it seem like that because they read one or two verses, and then they give you a whole hour spiel about how God helped their life. You know the devil helps lives too. You know that, right? You know the devil's help lives too. The devil can give you give you a blank check and give you monies also, and give you prosperity also. That's what he told Christ. He met Christ in the wilderness when Christ was going through his 40-day fast. He met him at the weak point, just slid right on in there too, like the devil do. You know what I'm talking about? Slid right on in there. You know what I'm talking about? I was like, hey, I can give you the whole earth. You can rule this thing here. You just follow me, man. You just follow me. You know what I'm talking about? And Christ and Christ being understanding what's going on had to shut him down. You know what I mean? He tempted him, but he had to shut him down. Right? It says no man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve God and mammon. Right? You cannot serve God and money. That's what the Christian church tried. That's what the Christian church tried to tell you they do. I got all this. Look at how I got all this money, man. I got all this money and all this. I got the new car. I got the new house, brother. Cause God loved me. I remember. What's his name? Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey he was doing a comedy show. I think it was the Kings of Comedy, but he was doing that comedy show. He told him, and he said they say that I don't know God. And he put his wrist in his watch and his bracelet and his rings out. He said, "Don't it look like I know him?" You know what I'm talking about? That's that witchcraft. That's that trickery. That's that hustler talk. That swindler talk. That's what that is. Just because you got diamonds and jewels and things like that, don't I look like I know him? Yeah, the Most High will take all that away from you, brother. The Most High will take all that away. Keep on playing with the Most High's name. He'll take all that from you. Now we go back to verse 11. Let's start at verse 10. Titus chapter 1, verse 10. For there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision. Verse 11. Whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not, for filthy lucre's sake, for money's sake, for filthy money's sake, just for money and monetary gain, just for them diamonds, Rolexes, big houses, nice cars, $67 million jets. That's what they do, man. That's why they said whose mouths must be stopped. They must be stopped, man. They must be stopped. That's why the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge go out there in them corners every day and we prophesy to the wind. Prophesy, man. Because we gotta stop that. We gotta stop that filthiness, that vain talking, that deceivingness. We gotta stop that. We have to stop that. And it's happening, brother. It's happening. That's why the churches are empty nowadays. Now the church houses are empty. The mosques are empty. Ever since coronavirus, and they shut down the mosques, and they shut down the Christian churches, and they shut down the white men's courthouses and everything. They shut down everything. The coronavirus shut down everything. The Lord put a little virus here to shut down the earth. And it shut down the earth, man. It let the whole world see that the oppressor is not in control. That we are not in control. The people are not in control of the earth. Because at any point in time, the Most High can let a virus go that'll wipe out millions, brother. That'll shut down the earth. I'm trying to tell you, brother, he shut down the earth, man. Because we're dealing with a dangerous power. It's just that Christian church make it seem like it's so nice and so cool, and like the Most High is just so. It's just a stepping stone. The Most High is a terrible power. The Most High will destroy the earth and leave 8 people alive. He did it before already. The Most High will destroy 5. The Most High will destroy Sodom and Gomorrah for homosexuality and Sodom. I want to say sodomism. I don't know if that's a word though. But for sodomism, he'll destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. Real talk. He's did it before. He'll tell you, you walk that way. We're gonna destroy the city. You walk that way and don't turn back. If you look back, turn into a pillar of salt. It happened before. It happened before, brother. That's why it's a warning, man. It's a warning. Real talk. Now let's go to James chapter 2. We're gonna start at 14. The book of James chapter 2. We're gonna start at 14. Right. The book of James chapter 2. We're gonna start at 14. It says, what doeth profit? Right, my brethren, through a man say he hath faith and have not works. Right. So what does it profit that? What is that profit? What does that profit to have all that faith but no works, man? You believe in this, you believe in that, you believe, but then you can't keep one law, statutes, and commandments, man. You can't keep no laws, no nothing. So like you can't go out on the highways and the byways like Christ. You don't really believe that, like you say, man. So what profit? What does that profit you? What does that profit you? Because you got 1,000 members in your church. Now you think you better than everybody else. When the Lord never cared about numbers. The Lord never cared about numbers. The Lord don't care about numbers. The Lord be like, yeah, so. Yes, he'll send that coronavirus through there. You know what I'm talking about? Wipe out the numbers of your church. Send a death angel around there. Wipe out the numbers of your of the world. So that what do profit, my brethren? Do a man say he hath faith and have not works? Can faith save him? Of course not. Not faith alone. Faith alone can't save that man. But the faith and the works, yeah, that could save him. Let's drop down to verse 17. It says, even so faith, if it hath not works, is dead. Right? So if you have faith, but you ain't got the works that goes along with the faith, it's dead. Your faith is dead. It says it's dead. Being alone. Right. If you ain't got the faith, if you got the faith and don't got the works to go along with the faith, then your faith is dead. Your faith is dead. That's like with anything in the world. Anything in the world. If you planting crops, right, and you just throw the seed out there, be like, oh, I hope it grow. I got faith it's gonna grow. It's not gonna grow. It's not gonna grow. But if you go out there and you make sure you got the right looking soil, and you dig it up and turn it over, and you plant the seed and you water the seed, and you go out there the next day and you water the seed some more, and you keep on watering that seed, eventually it's gonna grow. And it's gonna be like, all right, you know, tomorrow it's gonna grow, it's gonna be right. Same thing with the work of the Lord, man. When you building up a city, you got faith that you're gonna build that city up. You got faith that you're gonna build that city up. So you're going out there and boots on the ground, passing out flyers. You're going out there to camp, right? You're going out there being seen, passing out cards everywhere you go. You know what I mean? If somebody wants questions, and you got answers. Teaching class. When you got that work and you keeping those law, statutes, and commandments and doing all that with the faith that the Most High gonna build that city up for you, gonna help you build that city. Yes, city's gonna be built. That city's gonna be there. It's gonna be built, but you gotta have the faith and the works, man. You can't just have the faith without the work, man. That's what Christians have. Christians be like, you gotta have faith, but what's the works? What works you do? Ain't got no works. You know what they works is? They works is spending that money. Trying to spend that money. They works is doing what the white man say do. That's what they works is. They works is doing what the oppressors say do. That's what they works is, man. They ain't got no works. You know what I mean? That's why here in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we stay working. We stay putting that work in. We stay boots on the ground. We stay doing different activities. You know what I'm talking about? Trying to build cities and trying to do things. We stay working. Especially if you want to work under Captain Yatazak. Captain Yatazak is a very diligent brother, and he's gonna we gonna work. We gonna do the Lord's work. That's what we all about. We about doing the Lord's work. Go back over here. Verse 18. It says, "Yea, a man say, Thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show you I will show thee my faith by my works." Ooh, I'm gonna read that one more time. It says, "Yea, a man say, Thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works." Right? I show you my faith by my works. And then they say, if you don't work, you don't eat. Well, there was brothers that was working a slavery, and Christ came to pull them off their slavery, to stop working for the white man, to start working for the Lord. So that's not talking about slaving and working for and having a job and working for the white man. It's talking about working for the Lord, man. That's what it's talking about. That's what it's talking about. But this right here, he say, a man may say, Thou hast faith, right? You might say you got faith, and I have works, right? And you got works, but we got works. He said, show me thy faith without thy works, right? Show me your faith without thy works. And then he says, and I will show thee my faith by my works. I show you how real the Most High is by how hard I work and the things I can work and the things that the Lord help you create and bring more brothers into the school and more sisters into the school and more people into the school, and you'll have an abundant city and full of brothers and sisters doing the Lord's work. That way you can go out there and pass out food. You can go out there and do boots on the ground all week. You can go do different things in the community. And that's real talk, brother. That's real talk. Now let's go to Matthew chapter 5, verse 16. The book of Matthew chapter 5, verse 16. Because let's see what Christ said about the law, man. Let's see what Christ said about the law, man. Right, because let's see what Christ said about the law, man. Because keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, that's the bare minimum. That's the minimum, man. Keeping all the law is the bare minimum. You know what I mean? Let's see what Christ had to say about it, man. It says, the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 16. Right? It says, let your light so shine before men, right, that they may see your good works, right? That they may see your good works, man. Let the light shine. Let your light shine amongst the men, man, so they can see your good works. I remember Captain Tazariak talks about this all the time, about the brothers, about there was something going on robbery or something that went on down the street from the camp in New York, right? There was something that went on, and they stopped one of the brothers, and one of the brothers had a I.S.U.P.K duffel bag, right? And they was gonna hassle the brother up. You know how they do, black men. When one black man commits a crime, every black man committed a crime. And you know how they do. They're gonna rough every black man up. They're gonna stop every black man. What you doing over here? What you doing over here? So they stopped the brother, and one of the police officers was like, "Oh, no. He with those brothers that's up the street. He didn't do nothing wrong." You know what I'm talking about? Because they know his good works. They know the good works of the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. So they know ain't no brother in here is doing those things, man. Ain't no brother out here robbing nobody and killing nobody and you know what I mean? Nobody out here, they're not doing all those harmful things. So it says, let your light shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Right? Because they would like, oh no, man, that's a man of the Lord right there. You see his book badge, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. That's a man of the Lord. They have a good repertoire. We know, you know what I mean? They got a good rep. We know they're not doing nothing foolishness. We know they're not doing nothing crazy out here. Let that brother go ahead and go do the Lord's work. That's basically what they said. Let that brother go ahead and do the Lord's work. And then it says, and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Because when that happens, they be like, oh yeah, that brother's a real priest right there. He really believes what he's taught. He really believes what he's taught. But you go into the Christian church, they don't have no good works. They don't have no good works in the Christian church, man. In the Christian church, man, they works is stealing money, like they do all the time. Many churches around the nation get caught for stealing money. You know what I'm talking about? They over and over and over again, they get caught for stealing money, pedophilia, sleeping with other brothers' wives, drugs. That's all the churches all over the world. Same thing with the Muslim mosques. They sell drugs. They do things, sleep with underage girls. They do things like that in those Muslim mosques. They do things like that in those Muslim mosques, man. And then let's say those Arabs, they got a bad thing about messing with the women that need Pampers and things like that. Or they'll let them get the Pampers if they go and take them in the back and have unadulterated sex with them. Let me just keep it plain and 100. When they take them in the, I've seen some things like that happen before. Where I'm trying to get service at the little gas station, and then the Arab dude and the sister come from the back. I'm looking like, and she grabbed the Pampers and walk out. I'm looking like, what the heck? You know what I mean? I stopped going to the store. I stopped going to that store. I was angry. I was upset. Sisters, don't degrade yourselves like that. You need some Pampers, you come holler at the Israelite School. You find the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge nearest you, and you call that school and you tell them brothers that you need Pampers, and you gonna get them Pampers for that baby and the food and whatever else you need for them babies. But don't you subjugate yourself to these other nations for because you need something. You call that Israelite, you call the men of the Lord. You call a priest and a prophet. That's who you call. All right, you don't subjugate yourself to these heathen nations like that. You don't do that. You call your brothers here in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, and we will get you whatever you need. Because that's our job, is to take care of the people. That's our job. That's what we was raised up to do. That's what we was raised up to do. You think the Lord raised up the Christian church to the Christian pastor to take you and counsel you away from your husband? That ain't making sense. That's why you whatever you want to tell my wife, brother, you can tell her with me in the room. You know what I'm talking about? You can tell her and I together. Hustlers and swindlers and what they call them, unruly vain talkers and deceivers. So I'm gonna start calling. That's how I'm gonna start talking to him. You're an unruly vain talker and deceiver. You know, so that's how I'm gonna start talking to him. So it says, "Let your light shine before men. Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven." Because when you have the good works and everybody sees your good works, you glorifying the Father. You're glorifying the Father when you used to sell drugs and everything like that, and you did a good job, and you did a good job selling drugs. You was glorifying the devil. Now you in here and you feeding the people. You going to camp. You keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. You teaching class. You know what I'm talking about. You helping brothers out, helping sisters out wherever they may need it. You are now glorifying the Father, man. Because that's the works that the Father needs you to do and wants you to do. That's the work that the Father wants you to do, that your power wants you to do, and now you're doing that thing. So now you're glorifying Him, and everybody's like, "Man, what made it?" And everybody's looking at you like, "What changed in so and so? Why is that brother acting like that? Why he's so different now?" And this, that, and the third. And then you can go ahead and tell them, "Oh man." And then you go ahead and tell them, "Yeah, because I serve the Lord, man. I left that Christian church alone. Now I'm in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Now I know my job as a man, as an Israelite man. I know my job. You know what I mean? I know what I'm supposed to be doing." Now you can tell people, "I know my job. I know what I'm supposed to be doing, and by the Lord's will, we're gonna do it." Right, verse 17. It says, "This is Christ. Think not that I have come to destroy the law." Right? The Christ said, "Think not He has come to destroy the law or the prophets," and none of what the prophets spoke. Everything that the prophets spoke and everything that Moses laid down in them laws and that the Lord laid down in them laws, and all the laws still apply. Everything that was laid down at the beginning is still in effect. Christ didn't come to destroy none of that. It says, "I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill." Right? Christ didn't come to destroy anything. He came to fulfill the law, man. He didn't come to destroy none of the law. He come to fulfill the law. The law is written about him, because he was written in the Old Testament about how he was going to get hung on a tree and get pierced in the side, and you know, talking about he was going to get wounded, and he was going to give his life for his people. Man, that was written about in the Old Testament. If not him, then who? If it's not him, then who? That's what you ask all the brothers that don't believe in the New Testament, all the sisters that don't believe in the New Testament. If it ain't Christ, then who is it? We don't know yet. And all that. I'm just saying. 18. "For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass," right? "Not one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law." So it says, until heaven and earth pass, not one jot or one tittle. You know what I mean? A jot is like a period. Not one jot or not one tittle, a little line, not one line. Nothing shall pass from the law. It says till heaven and earth pass. And the heavens is above, and we walk on the earth every day. We walk on the earth every day. So the heaven and earth is not past yet. It says no wise. I'm gonna start over for verse 18. "For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled. It says till all be fulfilled. So at least until everything in the that was wrote about, all the prophecies had been fulfilled, all the law is still in place. All the law is still in place. Verse 19, it says, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, right? Like the Christian church, like your Christian pastor, because he breaks the least commandment, right? Not having your beard is the least commandment. You know what I mean? Not eating shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster. That's the least commandment. Those are the least commandments. Not wearing fringes. You know what I mean? Not wearing your fringes. That's the least commandment. These are least commandments, man, that they don't want to keep. They don't even try to keep. These are the least commandments that they don't keep, man. That's what we're talking about. The small commandments they don't want to keep. But they will keep tithing, though. And they don't even do that right. Lord said 10%. People go in there and give $1. Lord said 10%. Right? But he said the least commandment. Right? And then he says, teach men so. So if you teaching that the laws are done away with, and you teaching that you don't have to eat you can eat shrimp, crab, pork, lobster. You ain't got it. You don't need your beard, brother. Yeah, but those fringes, that fringes law, it don't apply to you, brother. You teaching men how to break commandments. Right? Verse 19, it says, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. Right? So he should be called, you're going to be called the least in the kingdom of heaven, man. The least in the kingdom of heaven, meaning you ain't going to get in that thing there. You're not going to get in the kingdom of heaven, brother. You teaching brothers to break commandments. That's a dangerous lifestyle to be living, man. Because when the Most High come, the Most High in Christ is coming for action, bro. They're not coming to give hugs. They're not coming to watch bunnies lay eggs. They're not coming for things like that. They're not coming for rainbows and sunshines. No, no, my boy. No, they're not. They're coming for death and destruction. You know what I'm talking about? And they're coming to set things aright. They're coming to set the kingdom of heaven they're coming to set up Christ's kingdom with his 144,000 Israelites ruling under him. And they coming to set the world aright. They coming to set the things that's written of in the Bible. They're coming to set those aright. When Christ comes back, there will not be homosexuality. There won't be no drugs. There won't be no cigarettes. There won't be no women shaking their behind on TikTok. There won't be no drug dealers paying for OnlyFans. It won't be no prostitution. It won't be none of that, man. No Christian churches, no Muslim mosques, no Buddhist temples, none of that. There won't be none of that, brother. There won't be none of that. Sister, everybody understand that? There will be no more homosexuality. There will be none of that going on. Only righteousness going on in the kingdom of heaven. Ooh-wee, brother, it's going to be a glorious time. It's going to be a glorious time. It says, but whosoever shall do and teach them, meaning those commandments. If you do the commandments and teach the commandments, right? Like we're doing today. Right? Like we're doing today. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Right? So whoever teaching the commandments and doing the commandments, see, because doing the commandments is just the bare minimum. But doing the commandments and teaching the commandments, that's what the Lord likes, man. That's what the Lord wants to see, man. And everybody's going to do that. Everybody should do that, man. All black, Hispanic, and Native American men should be teaching law, statutes, and commandments, man. And we're gonna be called great in the kingdom of heaven. We're gonna get a crown put upon our head, brother, by our king. By our king. Our king is going to give us crowns. That is a glorious thing right there. You are going to rule. You're going to get a crown put upon your head, and you're going to rule. And the world is going to envy you, brother. The world is going to envy you. Real talk. Real talk. So don't even worry about that sister talking about I don't need you and da. Don't worry about it, black man. You getting this Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge and just do and follow orders. You'll get a crown on your head. You'll get a crown on your head. Then she gonna be looking at it like, oh, I do need this brother. I do need that brother. You know what I'm talking about? Making a man more precious than fine gold. More precious than fine gold. And right now, the way the world's going, all these sisters need a man. All these sisters need a man. Somebody that's gonna protect them, because it's getting a little dangerous out here. I know the Christian women, the Jesus is my protector, and the Jesus you serve. Where is that? Look, I can't find it. But the Jesus they serve it looks like a homosexual. He looks like he ain't gonna bust nothing. He ain't gonna bust a grape. But the king I serve gives us power and dominion, brother. Real talk. The king I serve is gonna give us crowns, man. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 8. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 8. Oh, snap. I went the wrong way. Oh, so like verse 58. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 58. Oh, so like it's like the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 50. Oh, sorry, I don't think they can see. Can y'all see now? All right. The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 58. It says, therefore, my beloved brethren. Right there it is again, my beloved brethren. So it's not talking to everybody. It's not talking to everybody. My beloved brethren. You know, I'm talking about my Israelite brothers. Be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. Right. Be steadfast in the work of the Lord, man. Unmovable, man. You stand on the Lord's on the Lord, on this Bible, on the Lord's word like a rock, man. You stand on this on this word like a rock, man. That's what a Christian pastor. That's what Christians can't do. That's why they say the Old Testament done away with, because they can't stand on their doctrine. They can't stand on on what they believe like a rock. And then when you do tell them about it, and you do bring out the truth of the Bible, they just act like you didn't say nothing. They just act like you didn't say nothing. That's why every time Captain Tazariak has a debate with a Christian pastor, and he brings out Hebrews 9 and 16, right? They never answer that scripture. They run from it, and they go they do the Christian shuffle, the Christian two-step. But the Gentiles, brother, but you can go to the Gentile. They do the Christian two-step. That's what they do, man. The Christian two-step. Because they don't have nothing to stand on. And then when they go in, and then when you use the Bible just like they use the Bible, it's blood everywhere. Get cut up. It's blood everywhere, man. They get just it's wild. It's wild. Because they just they're being taught a theology. That's why when they go to those theology schools, they're getting taught theology. They're getting taught about how to use words and how to use words and how to use different understandings. They're not talking about they're not using the Bible. They're not talking about the Bible at all. Now, when you come into the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, that's a real Bible school right there. You learn the Bible, brother, and all your questions are answered. There's not one question that's not answered. You can ask all the questions you want. You can ask all the trust me. Ask all the questions you want. Ask a question like, "Oh, why did they go to the moon? Why?" You can ask all the questions you want, and all your questions is going to get answered. You'll be like, "I didn't even know that was in there." You know what I mean? I didn't know that was in there, but you hit the right priest at the right day, at the right time. He's gonna blow your mind, brother. Like they do me all the time. They blow my mind all the time. I be trying to come up with stupid questions just to ask them above me. And they still get answered. Real talk. That's delicious. But be steadfast and unmovable, man. Don't be over here and over there, man. Stand strong like a rock on this Bible, man. On this school, man. How would you do? Always abounding in the work of the Lord. Because if you putting in the work for the Lord will never take his knowledge away from you, man. If you putting in that work for the Most High is not going to take that knowledge. He's going to give you more knowledge on top of the knowledge that he's already given you. Then your mind is gonna be open. You're gonna be like, man, you know what I'm talking about? Like you're gonna be able to remember scriptures off the back of your hand, like real talk. Real talk, brother. It says, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. Because you're gonna know that your work is not in your labor is not in vain. You're gonna know that your labor is not for nothing. You're gonna know that. The more, because the more work you put in, the more brothers and sisters coming to school. The more brothers that come into school is just a hindsight about the brothers above that's in charge of those zones. You know what I mean? That shows how much work you put in. Right, because your work is not going to be in vain, brother. We tell you that. Damn. Oh, that's how you do me. All right, now we're going to go to the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 10. The book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 10. Now let's see how we should put in the work of the Lord. Let's see how we're going to put in the work of the Lord, how we should put the work of the Lord in. Or should we just be or should we be just like moving slow to do the work of the Lord? Let's see how we should be doing the work of the Lord. Should we just do the work of the Lord when we have time, on our own time? No. It says, be kindly affectionate one to another with brotherly love and honor, preferring one another. Right? Because we should be preferring one another, man. We should be preferring our brother and our sisters over our brothers and our sisters. You got brothers and sisters in the world, right? You preferring your brothers and sisters over everybody, man. And that's in everything. Prefer your brothers. Verse 11. Not slothfulness in business, right? Like you ever, you know what a sloth is? A sloth is like a slow moving animal. It moves slow in the trees, and you know what I mean. It don't. It ain't one of those. I think a turtle could be fast. It's faster than the sloth, man. It's not. It's not one of them. It's not one of them animals to be taken for speed. A sloth is not something to be taken for speed. It's a slow and it's a slow and want to be a moving slow animal. So it says, don't be slothful in business, in the Lord business. Don't be slothful in the Lord's business, man. When you do the Lord's business, you get up and you get at it like a soldier. Like a soldier, you get up and you get at that business, man. You get at the Lord's business. You do the Lord's business. When they say, "Oh, we need this and we need that," you do that. You get up and you do it. Jump right to it. Don't be taking your time, man. Your boy is thirsty. It says, not slothful in business, fervent in spirit. Now let's see what fervent is, right? The word fervent, definition: having or displaying passionate intensity. Right? So you're having a passionate intensity in spirit, right? So it says fervent in spirit, serving the Lord. So you have to have a passionate intensity in serving the Lord. You can't just be walking like you don't care about getting the Lord's work done. You got to be out there getting the Lord's work done. It doesn't look, what can I say? It doesn't look like the Lord's working with you, brother. If you moving like a sloth. If you're moving like a sloth and not wanting to and not wanting to do the Lord's work, it's not gonna look good from everybody else looking at you. Like, this brother look like he don't really want to be here. This brother look like he don't really want to do the work. This brother look like he don't really want to be, you know what I mean? But if you jump into it, you get into it, you and like, you know what I'm talking about, you teach a class and boop, boop, boop. They be like, yeah, I feel his spirit, I feel his energy. You know what I'm talking about? I'm with him. He right. No, he right on that. But you can't just be out there just, I'm just maintaining, and that's what Christians do, man. That's how they go to church. They go to church every Sunday, like with a spirit, like, and Sister Johnson and Sister Betty sit in the back of the church and talk about everybody. That's what happened, man. That's why it's important that we don't do that here in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. It's very imperative that we don't do that here. Because how can we be the home of the truth if we acting like we don't want to do the home of the truth work? How can this be the Lord's school, right? If we don't want to do the Lord's work, or we look like we don't want to do the Lord's work, how can that be? How can we what would you say? How can we prove to anybody that you know what I mean? How can we prove to anybody that this is where the home of the truth is, if we acting like we don't want to go do the work, and don't want to be out there at camp, and don't want to be out You know what I mean? And don't want to be teaching class, and don't want to be out there put boots on the ground. Don't want to be out there feeding the homeless. Don't want to be out there doing the work of the Lord. Right? How can we prove that this is where the truth of the Bible is? This is where the Lord is. How can we prove that? Because if we going out there looking slothful, they're gonna be like, the Lord ain't with them. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't never seen a slow God, a God that moves slow, or you know what I'm talking about, or a God that whose men move slow like that, or a God that whose men be acting like they don't want to do this and don't want to do that. How can we prove to them that this is the house of the Lord, man? That this is where the Lord is, man? How can we prove that? When you see a Christian church on TV, they always jumping and hooping and hollering and the what do you call it? The choir is going and singing and a shamana hamana, a shamana who, a shamana higher. So you telling me that the Christian church got more zeal and more spirit and than the Israelite school of U.P.K? Yeah, right. Yeah, right. That's why it's important to get busy with the Lord's work and to jump into the Lord's work and look like a oomph about yourself doing the Lord's work. Look like you got some spirit behind you, some you know what I mean? Look like the Lord put his hand in your back and was like, yeah, go do the work. All right, let's go to Proverbs chapter 16, verse 3. Let's go to Proverbs. The book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 3. It says, commit thy works unto the Lord. Right? Everything you do, man, you give thanks to you give that to the Lord, man. You give that to the Lord. And I know there's gonna be brothers and sisters out there that's gonna be like, there's gonna be brothers and sisters out there like oh, you doing a hell of a job at doing the look. No, man, it's all of the Lord, brother. I couldn't do it without the Lord. Right? I couldn't do it without the Lord, but I know the Lord could do it without me. But I couldn't do it without the Most High, man. I couldn't do it. Right? We couldn't do it without the Most High, man. So we always got to give honor and thanks to the Most High, all the works. Right? Your school gets built up, and a whole bunch of brothers and sisters come to start get into the school and start doing work. Hey, they be like, "Oh, y'all built that school. The Lord built the school. I ain't built nothing. I just did whatever the Lord, you know, the Lord said do. I just all I did." Right? Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. Right? And your thoughts are going to be established in the Lord. Y'all get that? Your thoughts are going to be established in the Lord. When you putting that work in, when you putting that work in, and everything you do is of the Lord, right? Then your thoughts is going to be of the Lord. Your thoughts is gonna be of the Lord. You're gonna start learning on how to about that rank and order, on how to move pieces of puzzles and do this and do that. Oh, it's like, yeah, you're gonna learn how to do this and do that. Before I came into the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, I didn't know how to build anything. You know what I'm talking about? Now I know how to build steps and build camp equipment and building this and building that. I'm like, but before I came into Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, I didn't know how to use it. I didn't even know how to use a drill. You know what I'm talking about? But the work had to get done. So, you know what I'm talking about? It forced me to learn ask questions, YouTube, Google, all that. All that. And now the work is getting done. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 28. Oh, Lord. Oh, no, let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 4. All right, the book of Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 1. It says, now therefore hearken, O Israel. Right? What does the word hearken mean? It says the word hearken means to listen. So it says, now therefore hearken, O Israel, unto the statutes and unto the judgments which I teach you, for to do them. Right? Just like it was saying in Matthew 5, verse 19, to do the law, statutes, and commandments. Right? It says the judgments which I teach you, right? So these laws, statutes, and commandments aren't given to everybody, but it is given to the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. It's not given to everybody, but it is given to you, Black man, Hispanic man, Native American man, because you're the one that the Lord trusted to rule this place, to rule the earth, man. You're the one who the Lord gave his trust into to rule the earth and to be his what would you call it? To be his discipline on earth, man. We're supposed to be ruling the other nations, making sure they keep the law, statutes, and commandments. You know what I mean? They're supposed to be following us in righteousness, not in wickedness. They're not supposed to have trap music. You know what I mean? Like so we do wrong thing. We do ungodliness, and they do what they follow us. So they start. So we get trap music. They get trap music. You know what I'm talking about? They are the trappers, but we the one that glorify it and rap about it. We are the trappers on the radio. So then they started making trappers on the radio. Y'all understand that? Which I teach you, for to do them, that ye may live and go in and possess the land which the Lord God of your fathers giveth you. Right? Because he gave the land, he promised that land to our forefathers. Right? Verse 2, it says, ye shall not add, or you shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall ye diminish aught from it, that ye may keep the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you. Now I want to talk about that add unto, right? You know how they add unto the Lord? No cursing. Right? They tell you that they told you that, oh, do you curse? You going to hell. Which they don't understand about cursing. They don't understand about that. They don't understand about it. And they would never understand because they don't do the law, statutes, and commandments of it. They don't even know what sin is. You ask a Christian, what is sin? Doing what the Lord told you not to do. That's a broad statement. That's a broad statement. That's a broad statement. How would you tell them? Like, you know, like, give me more specific. And then they can't give you more specific. They can't give you more specific because they don't know. Their Christian pastor is not telling them that, but their Christian pastor is telling them, a new house. You're gonna get that blessing for a new house, brother. You're gonna get that blessing for that new car. You're gonna get the new job, sister. You're gonna get all your money's worth, all your dreams, everything that you ever wanted and desired. You're gonna get that, brother. That's what they telling. That's what they telling everybody. That's what they telling everybody. I'm like, real talk. They're giving them a prosperity doctrine. Instead, they should be teaching them about the law, statutes, and commandments to how to do them. But they don't know how to do them, so they can't teach nobody how to do them. It said, "You should not add unto the word, and neither shall you diminish aught from it." It's like, you know how they diminish from the word? Talking about God's laws is done away with. That's how they diminish from the word. God's laws done away with. God's laws done away with. They're diminishing from the word. They're taking away from it. That ye may keep the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you. Right? Because the Lord commanded us to keep these law, statutes, and commandments. It wasn't a suggestion. He didn't ask. It wasn't like a suggestion box or something where you can, you know what I mean? You can go put, I don't feel like keeping that law right there. Boom. And put the suggestion in the box. It's none of that. The Lord commanded it. It says, your eyes have seen what the Lord did because of Baal Peor. For all the men that follow Baal Peor, the Lord thy God, hath destroyed them from among you. Right? He's talking about the golden calf. When Moses went up there on Mount Sinai and got the first 5 books of the Bible, right? Of the Torah, he came back down and they was worshiping the golden calf. You know what I mean? 1/3 of them had to go. Man. That's what the Most High said. Most High said that. Most High did that. You know, that's how y'all feel? That's how y'all feel, huh? Off with his head. That's how the Most High was. Most High wasn't playing about that. You think he was playing about he's a jealous God, keep no other gods before him? You think he just wrote that in there? He just told Moses to write that in there just to write that in there? No, he wrote that in there for us to really do that and learn from it. To keep him separate away from all the other gods, all the other gods also. That's why he gave that to us. That's why he gave that to us, man. That's why he gave that to us. Right? Because he destroyed them from among us, man. He separated us. He separated them from us. He killed them from us. For them to be an example of what not to do, and because they're so wicked that so we can know what not to do, and we can know to serve the Most High. Real talk, verse 4. It says, "But ye that did cleave unto the Lord your God are alive, every one of you this day." Right, because when we cleaved unto the Most High, man, we live. So we cleaved unto the Most High, and we're living now. Well, a lot of us are dead spiritually, but we're going to be living in the future, man. But first there got to be a falling away, man. We got to fall away from Christianity. We got to fall away from Islam, fall away from Buddhism, Catholicism. We have to fall away from all these different. All these different spiritual systems that don't benefit us, man, that keep us subservient to these other nations. But we have to come back and follow our Father, what the Lord gave to us to keep. Right? Because the Lord gave us law, statutes, and commandments, man. He didn't tell us to be no Buddhist. He didn't tell us to be no Christian. He didn't tell us to be no Baptist, no Seventh-day Adventist, no Jehovah's Witness, no none of that. No Muslim. He didn't tell us to be no I say Buddhist already, no Buddhist. He didn't tell us to worship Hinduism, none of that. But he did tell us about laws, statutes, and commandments that we must follow. That's it. That's all he told us about law, statutes, and commandments that we must follow. And he said, if we keep these commandments, we shall live. And if we don't keep the commandments, we shall die. It is that simple. There's no free will involved. It's very, 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 very simple. It's a simple deal, man. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. It's very simple to understand. We just have to want to understand it. It's like y'all just talking got me thirsty. We just have to want to understand it. And in verse 5, it says, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Verse 6, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom. Right? That's how you become wise, black man. This is your wisdom and understanding, black man. Right? This is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, right? Because when we keep our law, statutes, and commandments, right, they're gonna be looking at us like why are y'all doing that? Why are y'all keeping the Sabbath day? Right? Why don't y'all marry other nations? Like that's what they're gonna be wondering. That's what they're gonna be wondering. You ever notice why there's a white girl after every time somebody goes to the NBA draft or the NFL draft, it gets $1 million contract? You ever know that why there's a white girl sitting right around the corner that's ready to do whatever that's ready to do whatever you want her to do to you? Because they want to keep you in sin, brother. They want to keep you in sin. Most high in Christ is. But yeah, they want because they want to keep us in sin, brother. They don't want us. They don't want you to keep get you a black a sister, a black Hispanic or Native American sister, right? And then y'all live happily ever after together and have a little bit of black pride or have a little bit of Israelite pride about yourselves. They don't want that. They want you. They want you to get the white girl, marry the white girl, and go to the white girl's house on Christmas and Thanksgiving and Easter and worship them. That's what they want you to do, but they don't want you to find out about yourself, brother. That's the one thing they don't want you to do. They don't want you to keep they don't want you to keep the commandments and teach your wife to keep the commandments. And then y'all have kids and your kids keep the commandments, because then they know that their life is over. And then y'all keeping the commandments, right? And then y'all keeping the commandments, being that y'all superstars and rich and athletes and all this. All you have to do is say it on TV or something, and all the brothers and sisters that follow you, that be like this, that be like that want to be the next LeBron James, the Kevin Durant. You know what I mean? Like they want to be them. All you have to do is say it, and then they're gonna be like an Israelite, and they're gonna go research it because LeBron James said it, because Kevin Durant said it, because Kyrie Irving said it, because everybody because they said it, they're gonna go research it, and that's why they don't want you to get that black woman. They don't want you to have a little pride about yourself, man. And that's real talk. We're gonna keep going. In the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. Right. Because when we start keeping those laws, statutes, and commandments, and we get that wisdom and understanding, they're gonna be like, this is a great nation. This is a great nation. And it is a wise and understanding people. They're wise and they understand a lot. This is a great nation. That's why they won't put Commanding General Yohana on the main screen, on the news and on the main screen. They won't give him the time of day that they give all the other spiritual, whatever you want to call it, spiritual influencers. Because they give it to all everybody else, but they're not going to give it to Commanding General Yohana, because Commanding General Yohana is going to say some things that's going to spark that's going to spark in the people's minds. They're going to say some things. He's going to say some things that's going to spark in the people's minds, and they're going, and it's never going to be the same again. Verse 7. For the nation is there, what nation is there so great, who hath God so near or so nigh unto them, as the Lord our God is in all things that we call upon him for? Right? Because our God is in everything that we call upon him for. If we're keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, if we're doing what he says, if we're obeying our power, he's in everything that we have. The Lord is in everything that we have if we keep in the law, statutes, and commandments. And you could bet your bottom dollar on that. If you keep in the law, statutes, and commandment, the Lord is right there with you, brother. Every time you struggle, he struggles. He'd be like, well, he don't struggle, but every time you struggle, he's there for you. Let's say that. He's right there with you, like, then he'll pick you up. You know what I'm doing? Like, get up. Especially when you feel like you're about to fall down and you can't go no more, and is the Lord, come on, man. We right here together. It is not that hard. Trust me. Keep that faith. That's why sometimes when you read the Bible, all you gotta do is just open it and you at the right page, right scripture and everything. You be like, dang. I know the Lord. The Lord was with this. You know what I mean? You just open that Bible, bow, and you right there. Like, I didn't even know what I want to read about, but the Lord gave me what I'm reading about. I need to read this. You know what I mean? Because the Lord is always with you, brother. Verse 8. And what nation is there so great that hath statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law which I set before you this day? Right? Because it said, what nation? What nation? What nation has statutes and judgments so righteous? Right? So righteous. Remember we were talking about righteous earlier, about being right with the Most High? Doing what's right with the Most High? What's so righteous? What nation got statutes and judgments so righteous, man? Like, who is this? Who are these people? But we're not acting like that. But we're acting like heathen nations, wanting to smoke weed and drink and get drunk and have sex with whores and do whatever we want to do, when the Lord didn't set it like that to have for us. The Lord set some rules and regulations for us to follow, and we must follow them. And it was only given to Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, not everybody else. And that's how we become wise, not by following these other nations, not by listening to Steve Harvey, not by listening to not by listening to TD Snakes and Queffro Dollars, right? And John Gray. Is that his name? This is his name, John Gray, brother. The pastor from South Carolina that bought his wife a $300,000 Lamborghini truck. Not that. How about doing that, brother? By keeping these law, statutes, and commandments. That's how we get our wisdom. That's our works of the Lord, man. So make sure y'all put that work in. All right, and with that, we're the I.S.U.P.K. Started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. And we've been teaching Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans the truth of the Bible since 1969. Shalom.